Hello. Welcome to Unit 4 of the Teaching Statistics Through Data Investigations MOOC for Educators. So far, we have talked a lot about the four-phase investigative cycle, statistical habits of mind, and thinking about levels of sophistication that can help us support our students' approaches to statistical investigations. Well, in this unit, we're going to take a closer look at posing questions and collecting data. And as we have said before, these two phases are often forgotten in our lessons. To help us in our essential resources, we have several materials that can help you think about posing a good statistical question, as well as measurement issues that occur whenever we collect data and the types of variables that result with different measurements. When we think about posing a question, our essential resources will give you some information about what makes a good statistical question. This will include a focus on variability and the need for data, two of our important statistical habits of mind. For collecting data, we'll focus on the measurement issues and when you do different measurements, what types of variables occur. In both of these resources, you will have information that can help you as a learner as well as things we think will be helpful in your own classroom. For the investigation in this unit, we will be using a project website called Census at School. This website has been in operation for over a decade and used in many international settings. You'll get to hear briefly from our expert panel about what they think about this resource and how they may have used it in their classrooms. Here in the United States, the Census at School website and project is hosted and maintained by the American Statistical Association. At this site, there is a 40-question survey that can be used to ask students questions about their daily lives and different characteristics about themselves. These questions naturally lead to discussions about measurement and different types of variables. Consider the following questions that appear on the survey. How long does it usually take you to travel to school? Do you have any allergies? How tall are you without your shoes on? And what is your favorite sport or activity? As you can see, these questions lead to different measurements and different types of variables. At the Census at School website, students can enter their data by completing the survey online. From there, a teacher can download the data for just their class, and this gives an opportunity for students to investigate questions that describe themselves as a class in the aggregate. You can also select a random sample of data from the U.S. as well as internationally. The international website for the Census at School project is hosted in the UK, and it includes data from students in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. There are 13 questions that are on the surveys in all of these countries that allow for data to be common and can lead to interesting comparison questions. So in the investigation, you'll have a chance to look at the survey and to think about different measurement and variable issues that would come up and the different kinds of statistical questions that you could pose that would be of interest to you and your students. You'll also have an opportunity to download some data from the website and to either use the data that we can supply for you in an online tool or use your own favorite technology tool to explore the data. With this, our intent is to give you an opportunity to explore a large multivariate data set that has many cases in it. This will give you an opportunity to think about what data looks like that might be a little bit messy. The data sources coming from students might include measurement errors, they might include typos, and also maybe some nonsensical values that were entered that don't really make sense given the context of the question. By experiencing what it's like to look through this messy data, you'll have an opportunity to think about what you would have to do to clean this data and whether or not you would choose to do this before using the data with your students, or let your students get messy with you. As you work through this unit, please remember that the materials and resources and discussions from prior units remain open. So continue to work at your own pace and do what makes most sense for your learning goals. In the discussion forums, we are continuing to see the ways that you all are interacting with each other around the course content and helping each other think about ideas to implement in your own classroom practice. We love seeing this. So continue to do this, and let's get going and focus on posing and collecting.